Maelstrom Master Lee.
And Lulu.
All right, y'all. I'm going to be breaking my number one rule when it comes to games, when it comes to Starfield.
What?
And this is literally after a whole day of us talking about how I would never pre-order a game again. After being burned with Cyberpunk, I'm like, I'm never falling for that scheme of giving my money up front for a game until I know for sure it's damn good. But Starfield, I'm doing it. I'm doing it for two reasons. One is I really actually want to stick with this game. Like, I believe that they will get the game right. Even if maybe initially it could be buggy as fuck. But number two, I really want to support my sister and bros at Bethesda. Like, it's a full circle moment for me, having worked there many, many years ago. I tell you, it's really crazy because back when I used to work there, and this was decades ago, right? But Todd Howard was there. A lot of the originals were already there. They were already talking about, sci-fi is something that they wanted to explore. But we were working on an Elder Scrolls game, Daggerfall, and that game ended up becoming the most pre-ordered game in the company's history. Not just the company's history. Like, I think it was the number one pre-ordered role-playing game of the whole year. And for a third-party independent studio to have that, it was insane. It was like 1 million units pre-ordered. It just kept coming in. And it was so much that I actually had to work in the warehouse, which it's not even a warehouse. It's just a giant block, right, with conveyor belts of packaging games. Mm-hmm. Wasn't my job, but they needed so much help preparing all of it. So I did that for days, and that was hard effing work. I even got to drive a delivery truck, like a semi-trailer. I don't know how that was legal, because we need to get some games to the store kind of shit, right? Did it all. That experience was something I will always remember.
It's like the company was not that big yet.
Oh, the company was baby. The company was about to go bankrupt. If it did not have those 1 million units pre-ordered, it was game over for them. And in fact,
for you too.
For me too. Yeah, it would have been game over, and they knew it. It had reached the point where the company had run out of money. And I believe I could talk about this now because, quite frankly, it's way past my NDA. But Bethesda had essentially run out of money and said, we have to ship the game as is. And they knew the game wasn't finished. There were still some bugs that prevented you from finishing the game, like crash bugs that they knew they're going to have to patch, and it would have been really expensive to do, but they had to put it out there. Luckily, the fans stuck with them and believed in them and became, game of the year. Every subsequent Elder Scrolls game became game of the year. But back then, I was like, man, y'all are crazy to pre-order this game. Knowing what I knew, I'm like, but they were so hardcore and I couldn't get it. And now I'm on the other side of the fence, just as a fan. And I'm like, I want to support them because I believe in their vision, and I will pre-order the game for that.
There you go. No,
decades later, I just want to say to those guys, man, I'm really proud of them. And I don't know. I thought maybe they were really mad at me when I left because, I think they were already saying like, all right, we got a good team here. I did leave relatively early, I think within a year or two after only being there because, and I'll be honest about this too, they paid so little, I couldn't survive. I think it was like under $20,000 or something like that. Like, how could anybody freaking survive unless they live at home with their mom, that kind of thing? But I was just an assistant and I was just starting out, and I'm like, I really love these guys. I love the kind of games they make, but I can't live like this. And I had already did that even before when I worked on IDOS. Like, the game industry pays such shit wages back then that I had to work like 4 jobs. And I'm like, I can't go back to doing 4 jobs. I need to find my worth.
Now it's like they make a lot, right?
Yeah, now game developers make a lot. Yeah. Comes a long way, man. The game industry back then was just, it did not get the respect like it did today. And this game, it's got to have big respect because, hey, it's a live action trailer that they're putting out right now. Live action. That's how much money they got. They're going to make something that feels like a movie.
Wow.
I cannot wait for this game, man. I'm just telling you, babe, it's coming out in another couple of weeks. And
you'll be on couch.
I will be on couch, no shower, having food IV dripped into me.
Why am I surprised with no shower?
I know, I'll make it sound like it's dramatic. I already do that.
Yeah. He doesn't leave the house, so.
Okay, let's do this, y'all.
Okay.
By the way, if you want to hear some wicked wild stories, you got to check out my channel.
And if you want some hotness, check out my fantasy show on my OnlyFans.
Ooh, yeah. Wow,
oh,
she's
wow.
got beautiful eyes. This is so epic, baby. Holy moly. And the soundtrack.
Oh.
Woo! Oh my god. I love that version of Rocket Man.
Wait, that's it?
Oh, you want a whole movie? Baby, this is just a game. It ain't gonna be a movie. Although they should make a Starfield movie. That would, if it's
I
like
told,
this.
I told you, right? It's just so beautiful that I wish they will make a movie out of it.
We're getting to that point. I feel like games today, especially when they make trailers and some of the settings, we're at a point where, like, yeah, I want a movie now. And now that games are also very well respected, and some of the movies that have recently come out have actually done really well, like Mario. I feel like, you know what? The time has come for good movies based off of video games. But that, man, this was... You talk about
Magical.
a magical
It's
moment.
beautiful. That one is
This is beautiful.
world.
Yeah. It's kind of like one of those things where I never felt that way, but I can see a lot of kids who look to the stars like, one day I want to, like, to the moon, I want to go. And you get inspired by the people. Reminds me of Jodie Foster in the movie Contact. How she looked to the stars and was so inspired, like, what's out there? I want to discover that. While for me, it was more like, I'm going to go into the Matrix. I'm going to make video games and be a nerd. Instead, it was like, you either go out or you go in. One of the two.
How come I don't have that thought?
Is that why you call yourself Clueless Lulu? You're just happy with doing reaction videos? This is just either there or just sitting right here.
What can... No, I just go along.
You just want to be a passenger
Yeah.
on my
Can I
spaceship.
just be a passenger? Because I do love to explore and experience. But I don't have that, like... oh, what
So
is it?
basically,
I wanna
you just want to
study.
be someone who rides
No,
the
you
Disney
said
ride
it.
rather than build it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, obviously, I don't have the brain to think like that.
You should never think like that. Everyone who is impassioned enough will go for it. That's the point. That's the point of this young girl who, at that point, she doesn't know how to even control spaceships. She probably hasn't finished all the important math stuff. She's looking towards that guy who's just went out into space, and he's like, I can be that.
Like your motivation.
Exactly. To you, it might be already too late. But for the girl and everyone else, you still have
Oh,
time.
yes.